what President Biden was basically doing through Hunter Biden was allowing Hunter Biden to get these deals where there's no discernible actual product being produced.
Given that answer, just a yes or no here. Can Republicans prove all that? Gary?
Congressman Don Bacon, probably not about Biden committing high crimes and misdemeanors. Chuck Grassley, I have no evidence where I can say the president is guilty. An unmitigated disaster. Comer has lost control, and he has botched this bad.
Oh, that's gonna hurt!
It's the day after Republicans voted for an evidenceless impeachment and fled town for 3 weeks.
This is an impeachment inquiry where no one has been able to define what criminal or constitutional offense they're looking for. Juries are called a whodunit because it starts with a crime and then you try to determine who committed it. This is more like a what is it, not a whodunit. We don't know what the crime is.
Don't worry, their inability to prove anything other than Hunter Biden is in fact Joe Biden's son has gifted us some real Fox News entertainment. Like say, could this be the longest pause in the history of TV?
You don't have to be financially connected to a business in order to be a part of that business. And what President Biden was basically doing through Hunter Biden was allowing Hunter Biden to get these deals where there's no discernible actual product being produced. So it's really just peddling of the influence.
Okay, Gary, given that answer, just a yes or no here. Can Republicans prove all that? Gary?
It's up to their investigation. Yeah, they have to conduct the investigation that they want to conduct.
I'm sorry. So you're
if
not.
They prove it. They prove it.
So you're not sure about that question?
Has Steve Ducey gone full dark? Brandon?
I would say that the three people on Capitol Hill who know the most about this deal are James Comer, Jim Jordan, and Chuck Grassley. Chuck Grassley, the Republican from Iowa, said yesterday he has seen no evidence Joe Biden was involved with Hunter Biden's foreign business dealings. He said to CNN, "The facts haven't taken me to that point where I can say that the president's guilty of anything."
Yeah.
So if somebody who's looked at everything,
you can't get the evidence if the FBI blocked the investigation.
Right, but the other thing is, but they're doing it.
Power, they're going to be able to get grand jury testimony and stuff like that.
And lastly, the main event: Jessica Tarlov versus the delusionists.
Great. So much to choose from. I'm like a lazy Susan of crazy. We'll pick a couple. Okay. So I look forward to most likely be Jesse, who will next have Jim Jordan on your show. And you can ask him about the subpoena from the January 6th committee that he's flouted for years now, hasn't turned up, no respect for the rule of the law, as Judge Pirro would say. So you can list all these other people, but I want to see Jim Jordan being pushed on that, and I think you're the man to do it. Hunter was
subpoenaed by Jan 6?
Yeah.
And he skipped it?
Yeah.
But before we get to all that, it's important to note that in the wake of yesterday's impeachment circus, James Comer and co. went above and beyond to bring to the forefront the unwavering reality that in layman's terms, whatever way you want to cut it, slice, dice, no thinking twice, they can unequivocally tell you without an ounce of hesitation that yeah, they have nothing. They have always had nothing. And not only are Fox News and Newsmax jumping ship before it plummets any further, as Jessica Tarlov points out to her colleagues, Republicans themselves, like Chuck Grassley here, are undermining the impeachment that never was.
That all I can say is there's some indication of maybe some compromise with China particularly, but I have no evidence of it, and I'm going to just follow the facts where they are.
Jim Jordan. Cite him again, on with Varney, talking about what the impact is going to be. Driving down Biden's poll numbers. Troy Nehls, or Niels, I don't know how to pronounce his name, said the same thing. What's going to be the outcome of the impeachment inquiry? Trump 2024, baby. This morning, Maria Bartiromo has Nancy Mace on. She says, hey, Nancy, nice to see you this morning. Thanks for getting up early with us. What you got, right? Where are the policy changes that came as a result of being paid off? Nancy Mace,
I'll tell you what.
I don't have anything. I said, go get another. I love being with you, but you had the committee if you have all the answers. Congressman Don Bacon, probably not about Biden committing high crimes and misdemeanors. Chuck Grassley, I have no evidence where I can say the president is guilty. GOP aides, obviously, they don't want to lose their jobs. an unmitigated disaster. Comer has lost control, and he has botched this bad.
That's the whole...
Now, it is important to note that when it comes to Grassley himself, I'll save my pat on the back for someone who hasn't enabled the sham and massive waste of taxpayer dollars for 4 years before coming to this conclusion.
And we aren't interested in whether or not the accusations against Vice President Biden are accurate or not. We're responsible for making sure the FBI does its job, and that's what we want to know.
Okay, Senator, let me stop you there. You just said you read the document, is that right?
Yes.
Then what did it say?
Well, I'm not going to characterize it.
In fact, I'll go out on a limb and say that most of these moderate Republicans would quickly get back in front of the camera equipped with all their hot button words, Burisma, laptop, loans, what have you, if a certain someone was to demand it.
Donald Trump says jump. The MAGA extremists say how high.
As Massachusetts Democrat Jim McGovern pointed out so very eloquently, everything they are doing is to appease the man now selling baseball cards made from the suit of his mugshot.
Digital cards, and we'll mail you a beautiful trading card. It is an authentic piece of the suit I wore when I took that now famous mugshot, and it was a great suit, believe me, a really good suit. It's all cut up, and you're going to get a piece of it. With the purchase of 47 of the Trump digital trading cards at the same price, $99 each.
Yes, it is a cult. We're living in the real-life version of The Office.
Trump tried to blackmail a foreign head of state to dig up political dirt on Joe Biden. Donald Trump tried to overturn an election because he lost to Joe Biden, sending a violent mob here to the Capitol on January 6th to try to stop the certification of the election. Donald Trump's kids stole money from a cancer charity. Donald Trump's son-in-law took $2 billion from the Saudi government in a deal so shady that it would make even Richard Nixon blush. Donald Trump has been indicted more times than he's been elected. And it's clear to me why Republicans are going after Joe Biden and trying to drag his name through the mud. Donald Trump says jump. The MAGA extremists say how high. Donald Trump asked them to impeach Joe Biden, and here we are. They broke the law trying to stop Joe Biden from becoming president. They broke the law trying to violently overturn the election to prevent Joe Biden from taking office. And now they are waging this extreme political stunt by abusing and weaponizing the impeachment process. They tried to overturn the election on January 6th, and now they want to finish the job.
So while it's fun to see the faces of those beside Tarlov as she reminds them of how fragmented their own party is, I'm sure they'll all come together again when it means appeasing Orange Jesus.
Representatives, what are you hoping to gain from an impeachment inquiry?
All I can see is Donald J. Trump 2024, baby.
There is no evidence that President Biden committed a crime. There is no evidence that President Biden committed an impeachable offense. There is no evidence that President Biden engaged in any wrongdoing. Effectively, what we saw is that the extreme MAGA Republicans in the House were ordered by an organized crime boss, the twice impeached former president of the United States, who has been, we've seen, a living, breathing, one-person crime wave. He basically ordered the extreme MAGA Republicans to launch this illegitimate impeachment inquiry as a political hit on President Joe Biden to try to undermine President Biden's ability to be reelected.
Thanks so much for watching. We're only a few subscribers short of 2 million subs. Please subscribe right now to the MeidasTouch YouTube channel for free and help us grow this unapologetically pro-democracy network.